Good morning. Thanks for joining us on the press, reaching you live right here from Abuja. It is raining cats and dogs in the city. I don't know about where you're at right now in Nigeria or any part of Africa that you're watching the show. It is raining cats and dogs. Should I say elephants and lions this morning in Abuja? But you know what they say, the show must go on, and it's always a joy knowing that you were there waiting every day, Monday to Friday, to ensure that, you know, you'll be part of the conversation on the show. And it gives us so much joy, I have to emphasize that, coming here and sharing ideas, giving you information, keeping you abreast of happenings all over the country. And when we have the opportunity, we actually bring stories from across the world. Today's show promises to be interesting from this side, and we just hope that you stick around with us all through the show, and make sure you call when it is time for you to call to be part of the conversation. The show will definitely retain its style, which is the weather, the front pages of the newspaper, the guest, and of course the lines are open for you to be part of the conversation. I've had an experience on the show where when it rained and my guest did not show. I'm hoping that we have something different today, because I tell you, the rains are heavy. All right, let us begin as we do on the show. As I welcome you once again, my name is Anire, Binitie. Okay, let us starting now straight from the south of Nigeria, which is Port Harcourt, as we take a look at the weather this morning. Port Harcourt presents something different. Says it's going to be cloudy in Port Harcourt today. It actually started at 26 degrees Celsius. By 8 a.m. it retained that. By 9 a.m. it rose to 27 degrees. 10 a.m. is expected to see it rise to 28 degrees, and 11 a.m. 29, while it will go back to 28, a drop by 12 p.m. The highs are 29 degrees and the lows at 24. So that is the weather forecast for Port Harcourt. Well, it's going to be rainy, because rainy conditions are also expected around this time, and wind gusts are up to 10 kilometers per hour. All right, let us move away now and go straight on to the southeast of Nigeria. Let us take a look at Imo. Imo started at 25 degrees, drizzles expected, highs at 28 and lows at 24 degrees. Imo started at 25 very early this morning. You can actually see the rain on your screen, the pictorial of rain there. 8 a.m. saw it present 25 degrees at 35%. At 9 a.m., 26 at 40%. 10 a.m. we'll see it rise to 27 degrees at 40%. 11 a.m. we'll see it rise further to 28 at 35%, and 12 p.m. we'll see it retain 28 degrees, but a rise in percentage by an extra 10%, which is 45% by 12 p.m. Highs will remain at 28, and lows are expected to be at 24. Thunderstorms are expected around 1 p.m. Wind gusts are up to 10 kilometers per hour. Still right there on the southeast, let's take a look at Enugu. Enugu this morning, rain. You can actually see the pictorial there, rain everywhere. Thunderstorms are expected around 2 p.m. Wind gusts are up to 12 kilometers per hour. Now, Enugu started at 24 degrees. By 8 a.m. it retained that. 9 a.m. saw it rise to 26 at 40%. 10 a.m. is predicted to see it rise to 26 at 35%. 11 a.m. 27 degrees, retaining the 35%, and by 12 p.m. we're expecting to see it rise to 27 degrees, retaining the 35%. Like I said, thunderstorms are expected around 2 p.m., but the highs are at 28 degrees and lows at 23. All right, let us take a look at Kaduna, northwest Nigeria. Kaduna this morning, mostly cloudy, starting at 23 degrees. 9 a.m., 25 degrees. You can see the sun. Yes, you can see the sun peaking out of the clouds right there. 10 a.m. is expected to see it rise to 26 degrees. 11 a.m. will see it rise to 28, while by 12 p.m. it is predicted to rise as much as 29. It's going to be mostly cloudy in Kaduna, though rainy conditions are expected around 3 p.m. with wind gusts up to 15 kilometers per hour. The highs at 29% and the lows at 22 degrees. All right, let us move on from Kaduna. Let us take a look at Kano. Kano is going to be mostly cloudy today with highs at 31 degrees and lows at 23. Partly cloudy conditions expected around 12 p.m. Wind gusts are up to 11 kilometers per hour. Meanwhile, 9 a.m. saw it rise to 26 degrees, but by 10 a.m. we're expecting to rise to 27. 11 a.m. we'll see it rise to 28, and 12 p.m. we'll see it rise to 29 degrees. We have more. Let us now take a look at Benin City, my city, Benin. I grew up in Benin City, lovely town. Despite all they say about the town, you need to stay there to actually experience the beauty of that city. It is exciting indeed. Now, Benin City started at 26 degrees. By 8 a.m. it retained that percentage, or with an expectation to rise as much as 28 by 10 a.m. because 9 a.m. actually see it now rise to 27. 11 a.m. will see it rise to 29 degrees and 12 p.m. 30 degrees. Though thunderstorms from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. are expected, with rain expected at 4 p.m. Well, Benin is going to be mostly cloudy with highs at 30 degrees and lows at 24 degrees. All right, let us take a look at Lagos State. Lagos is going to be partly cloudy. It started at 27 degrees. You can see the sun is a paradox. We also have rains in Abuja and some parts of Nigeria, and Lagos City presenting 27 degrees. I also grew up in Lagos. I love Lagos. You carry Lagos everywhere you go. Lagos has that effect in you. No matter where you go, Lagos is always in your heart. Now at 8 a.m. it presented 27 degrees, and 9 a.m. saw it rise to 28 degrees. You can see the sun peeking out of the clouds there. 10 a.m. we'll see it rise to 29, and 11 a.m. we'll see it rise to also 29, while it will rise further to 30 by 12 p.m. Cloudy conditions are expected around 12 p.m. Wind gusts are up to 12 kilometers per hour. Abuja. Let us take a look at Abuja. Yes, I am new to the city of Abuja. I came here not liking the city too much, but now it's beginning to grow on me. Abuja started at 24, mostly cloudy. It is raining, I tell you. Rainy conditions expected around 8 a.m. It started just before that. Wind gusts are up to 14 kilometers per hour. 9 a.m. presented 25 degrees at 20%. You can see the rain if you're watching right now. 10 a.m. we'll see it rise to 26 degrees, and 11 a.m. 27, 12 p.m. 28. So there you have it. Are we done? Let me take a look. Yes, that's all we have on our weather report this morning. Now, if your city was mentioned here, you already have the direction that the wind and the weather will go. So I advise that you prepare yourself towards that. For those of you in Kaduna and Kano, you know what to do as usual. And if you're one of those who got the rainy prediction, like right now in Abuja, it was raining like I told you, you can barely go out. Make sure you protect yourself from the rain, and of course you ensure that wherever you're going, you get your business done in the safest way possible. All right, we're done with our weather this morning. Let us go straight on now to what the papers, the front pages are saying. We'll begin this morning with The Guardian. The Guardian this morning says 97% of public varsities default in online visibility transparency order. Well, I agree to that, because I remember trying to get my transcript from my school where I graduated, and it's been Herculean getting that done, almost impossible. I really am confused right now on how to go about it. Try to go through the portal to get my transcript. It's been difficult, no communication whatsoever. I don't want to mention this morning, but some other time, so it's not like I'm giving bad review, but I totally agree. 97% from my point of view is what I experienced, because it was really, really frustrating for me to actually discover that I couldn't get my transcript, and at the point when I was trying to get it done, I really needed it, but somewhere along the line it actually disturbed, because I couldn't travel the long distance, so I had to put a stay to what I was doing. It was really frustrating. So I totally agree to this data given to us this morning. You can actually see the pictorial of the universities on the front page of The Guardian this morning. Unfortunately, mine, I don't know, I think mine is there somewhere. Okay, all right. So it is really frustrating. Now, away from that data this morning, Pinitie tries AGF as Osun government sues the federal government for stopping council's allocations. You can have more of that read on page 7 of The Guardian this morning. 16 years after meltdown, NGX market cap surges by 347.5%. That's on business. Business page is on page 15 of The Guardian. 2027, PDP's internal crisis worsen as weaker judge trade words. More from the PDP. And away from that, Mokwa flood, over 1,000 still missing, 200 bodies recovered. Very, very sad story due to the flood that happened, or the rain that happened a couple of days ago, barely almost a week now, I think. Yes, I got a feel of that rain. The wind that blew in Abuja that night was horrendous, I tell you, and it actually affected my roof, because I got a little bit of leak in my bedroom, and we're trying to walk in it. It was so scary. The worst I've seen. We see tornadoes. If you watch tornadoes on American movies, I got a feel of that, and look, it is not funny at all. And for us to keep having the statistics coming from Mokwa, it is really heartbreaking. All right, away from the Mokwa story, NAF strike kills 20 bandits, 5 vigilantes in Zamfara. Amnesty International demands probe. Rebuttals warning against ransom payments to kidnappers. You want to find out? Then read page 12 of The Guardian newspaper this morning. All right, Natasha's denial of sexual harassment allegation against me an afterthought, says Omokri. Well, Natasha is still on the news. You want to find out? Just make sure you pick The Guardian and go straight on to page 5 to find out what it's all about. Over 950 Southeast locations occupied by bandits, headsmen, kidnappers. Scary statistics indeed. All right, let us move on from The Guardian this morning. So The Nation newspaper says, Governor Buni's second term in office elevating service delivery across Yobe State. A snapshot of key projects and programs. That's the pictorial on the front page. That's the screaming headlines on The Nation this morning. And above the mast, Wike may take on PDP 2027 elections. Amechi for Bara. That statement is credited to Amechi and Fubara. Away from that, police, CBN, Abuja agency, others owe FCT ground rent. We're yet to get to the end of this ground rent brouhaha, and before now we never got any story or heard any story about ground rent problems. And this administration, through the Wike, who says he's not afraid to step on toes, we are beginning to get this report coming in, and I'm sure we're yet to hear or see the end of this. But this morning we're getting to hear that the police, the CBN, Abuja agency and others owe the FCT ground rent. So what is good for the Ganda is good for Uganda or good for others? Well, we get to find out. So this is a call to Wike to do the needful. I think a lot of houses will be or businesses will be closed or shut if we don't see the end of this. So as Wike tries to do the needful, let us also do our side of what is expected. All right, moving away from that, a topic which I'll be taking a look at this morning. Herdsmen killed 33 in Benue. Court finds El Rufai 900 million naira for illegally detaining Kajuru leaders. Okay, that's on page 5. Mokwa flood death toll hit 200. We already talked about that in the previous paper. All right, let us move on to the Nigerian Tribune this morning. The Nigerian Tribune, weaponization of poverty. APC tackles Atiku and Mechi El Rufai. Again, we shall be taking a look at this weaponization of poverty and the accusation and counter accusation. And of course, Atiku is at the middle of this, though he has support from Amechi and El Rufai. In an event, this allegation was actually made, and today we shall be taking a look at that also. So the Nigerian Tribune screaming headlines has 2 riders, says trio united by desperation, silent on 8 years of Buhari administration. More of that read on page 15. And above the mass, suspected headers kill 43 in Benue communities. And beside that story, ground rent. I derive joy in stepping on toes of powerful people. Wike. More cuts short lawyers, litigants stranded as judiciary workers begin strike. Page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune. North must support Southwest in 2027 to complete 8 years in power. Shehu Sani. Assault on vice principal, Ondo police arrest parent, 4 others. Totally unacceptable if you ask me. Aggrieved lawmakers ask WAEC registrar to resign over conduct of midnight exam. Their riders, if my eyes can pick it. Exam buddy blames outsourced printers for leaked English paper. Says papers were distributed by road nationwide. That's the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Okay, let us move on now to the New Telegraph. The New Telegraph newspaper this morning says, nobody can uproot me from PDP. I'll lead Tinubu to victory in 2027. Wike at the center once again. Declares himself an asset, says he made more sacrifices than his accusers in PDP. Won't allow those who want to kill the party to have their way. More of the read on page 2 of the New Telegraph newspaper. We have more. Scores flee homes as headers murder 46 in fresh Benue attacks. SSC English paper leaked 3 days before exam, says WAEC. More on the New Telegraph. Forex will keep refining non-resident BVN to meet broader remittance targets, says Cardoso. More. Oji Kaloto Tinubu sacks some ministers, security chiefs. Salah, federal government declares Friday, Monday public holidays. All right, that's all we can take on the New Telegraph newspaper. All right, let us move on now to First News. First News this morning says, unfiltered firestorm. Wike declares 2027 battle lines, roars. 4 riders or 5 to this, no one can expel me from the PDP. I cried watching what Fubara once said about me. Amechi joined Atiku El Rufai because he's power hungry. I'll lead Tinubu's 2027 campaign. Highly controversial indeed. If only this gentleman would just pick a side. Just pick a side and stop making us go giddy. Pick a side, because the words are just dropping from all corners, and we are all confused. Well, for politics, I keep my fingers crossed. All right, away from that, above, just below the mast, striking judiciary workers shut Abuja courts despite exemption notice. APC slams Amaechi Atiku El-Rufai over weaponizing poverty allegation. Photos: police rescue 12 trafficked children, recover arms in anti-crime operations. Nigerians will soon benefit from Tinubu's reforms on Nanuga. Flood: Niger government confirms 200 dead, over 1,000 still missing. Insecurity: Take It Back movement plans nationwide protest on June 12th. Niger flood: Peter Obi visits victims, donates 20 million naira. Military jet mistakenly hits vigilantes as bandits kill 20 in Zamfara. Very sad story. All right, let us move on now to the Vanguard. The Vanguard newspaper this morning says SSCE stakeholders disagree with WAEC NECO on use of CBT. That's on education. All right, Niger flood, 503 households affected as death toll hits 200. 2027, Atiku Amaechi El-Rufai hungry for state resources, says the APC. Yes, Wike still made it to the front page of the Vanguard. No one can take me or sack me from PDP, says Wike. No one can sack me from PDP, says Wike. All right, let us move on to the Punch. The Punch this morning. Wike's Tinubu endorsement sparks opposition firestorm. Yes, indeed. I said so. We are all confused. Above the mast, presidency moves to settle 2 trillion naira power debt. Reps will WAEC chiefs over exam disruptions. More of that read on page 18. And the judiciary story is still there. Judiciary workers strike grounds courts. Just beside the mast, 7 states spend 190% of revenue on loan repayment. I'll take that again. 7 states spend 190% of revenue on loan payment. Federal government estimates 808 billion naira yearly for road maintenance. Ayata decries high airlines operating cost in Nigeria, others. Away from that, Boko Haram fueled by political elite to destabilize Tinubu, says Kalu. 3 Nigerians back 15 years jail for fraud in India. Lagos APC LP in turmoil as PDP eyes local poll upset. All right, let us move on. Let us take a look at the business day. Business Day this morning says recapitalization shake-up looms as only 10% of BDCs comply. Operators appeal to CBN for deadline extension requirement review. Still on Business Day, rising uptake drives Nigeria's gas export to 15-month high. All right, those are the stories on Business Day. We've taken news. Okay, well, let me see if we have more papers to go. Okay, the Matrix. We have one more. The Matrix this morning. Oh, we have 2. Matrix, let us take a look at the Matrix. The Matrix says Atiku Amaechi El-Rufai united in desperation for self-serving power. APC. Mokwe flood, Peter Obi donates 20 million to victims. Bako on the fire for seeking donations on X despite $10 million World Bank grant. Federal government will move Nigeria from mere cocoa production to processing. Suspended Kogi Senator Natasha to appear in court today. Federal government declares June 6th and 9th public holidays for Eid al-Adha. We have some international stories. Russia, Ukraine agree on prisoners exchange, but no ceasefire deal. That's what we want, not just the prisoners exchange. It is high time we see an end to the war between Russia and Ukraine. And some entertainment story. Davido, Sophia Mamadou reunites to celebrate daughter Imade's 10th birthday. And in sports, Anire officially crowned 2024-2025 Turkey Super League Golden Boot winner. He deserves it. All right, let us move on now to our final paper for this morning, the Daily Times. The Daily Times this morning says Vice President Shettima pushes cocoa processing $25 billion gas pipeline economic drive. And we still have the Amaechi story. Amaechi says it's an asset to Tinubu's victory will lead APC campaign in Rivers. Mokwa flood disaster survivors lament delays in emergency relief. All right, that's our paper front page this morning. We have gone through quite a lot this morning, and it is still raining from the report that I've just gotten right here. I do hope that my guests are available for our discussion this morning as we take a look at the continuous headers attack in Benue, and of course the allegation against the APC government by Amaechi, Atiku and El Rufai, especially Atiku, who says that this administration has weaponized poverty to stay in power, weaponize poverty against the Nigerian people. We want to take a look at these allegations. And of course, Benue is always in our hearts, and we pray that we see an end to the bloodletting. Too much going on in Benue as we try to understand why every day there's a report of headers of farmers clashes, the tears that comes out of that state. It's one that we want to see an end to, indeed. So as our guest from the flip side, we want you to stick with us on the show and make sure once the phone lines are opened, you call in and add your own take on our discussion. We'll take a short break, and when we return, the conversation. Stay with us. Yes, welcome back. If you just joined us, it is the press. And yes, I also want to let you know that it's going to be you and I watching today from the flip side, because my guests have, yes, they are not here yet. Like I did say before we went on the break, that it is raining cotton dogs in Abuja. I've had two experiences where guests definitely bailed. They just totally bailed on me because of the rain. So today, the phone lines are open. Please, let's show the phone lines right now so you can be part of the conversation. You are my guest this morning on the press, and we're taking a look at two very important topics, two focus that we picked from the papers today. The papers presented lots of headlines, from education to business, to the judiciary, to politics, but two that really touches the heart for me, that I want to make my focus, is the continuous headers attack in Benue, and yet the allegation by former Vice President of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, accusing or alleging that you know, the APC government is weaponizing poverty in Nigeria. So we're taking a look at those two very crucial topics this morning as it affects us as Nigerians. Again, the phone lines are open, and we can have the topic so our people at home can actually see what we're talking about this morning. Now, on Benue, I was doing my research, you know, trying to prepare for the show this morning. Continuous headers killings in Benue. I came up with I discovered some reasons why we just do not have peace. We are yet to have peace. It's been back-to-back killings this year alone. In fact, if you add it up, it's really heartbreaking. Every day seems to present something from Benue, and the stories coming out are not really comforting. We just had the situation in Plateau, and now Benue continuously. continuous headers attack, I found out, I'm going to reel it all out to you, what I got in the course of my research. It says unfavorable environmental changes. Unfavorable environmental changes has been, one of the reasons, discovered to be one of the reasons why we still have the unrest that we have in Benue. Population explosion, religious intolerance, ethnic suspicion, and political factors, among others. Socioeconomic effect of the conflict. Politics is also fingered as some of the reason. A study also found that conflict between farmers and herders in Benue State has been politicized, and measures taken by government and stakeholders have not been successful. Based on the findings, it was therefore recommended that the traditional authorities should be open to their subject when it comes to issues bordering on land resources in their communities to avoid suspicion. Now, let us take a look at this allegation against traditional rulers. I was shocked while doing the research that this is based on research, please. This is not some investigation that I carried out on behalf of KAFTAN. No, this I got while researching. So based on research, everything you hear me say today is based on research guarded. All right, that traditional rulers in Benue State have not been open to their subject, that there is something to be discovered within this traditional rulers and continuous headers attack. Again, we just heard about land allocation. We know that in certain communities, headers partner or do ask for permission to get land where they can store or stock their their cows, their livestock, as it were. Now, the allegation here while doing this research is that the traditional rulers in Benue have not been transparent with their subjects, that most of the problems coming out of this continuous headers farmers or headers killings is because of a land resource, that traditional rulers actually have some kind of business with headers, and that has gone south, and they demand what they paid for. I do not know how true this is, but this definitely is something that I got while doing the research, trying to find out why every morning presents morning in Benue State. The phone lines are open. Please call in and be part of the conversation. You want to talk about the Benue situation, and you want to talk about the weaponization of poverty. Anyone you pick, that is what we're doing this morning on the show. Again, let us take a look at unfavorable environmental changes. Now, that too is one of the reasons given as the cause of the continuous headers attack in Benue State. We do know that migration, headers migrating from far north down to the middle belt and of course the southern part of the country is something that is part of our history. It's not something that started now. It has been like that for as long as we can remember. So environmental challenges or changes has been identified as one of the root cause or causes of headers, farmers, face off, and of course the killings in Benue State. I remember the period we're talking about, asking the North to provide, for headers in the North, making sure that, there's a stop to this migration of headers down away from their location. If this is a continuous problem, then there needs to be a solution. So I really do not know how we will tackle this and have the results that we have. Again, we're going to take a look at the political side of the allegation as the cause of, what is going on in Benue State. One thing I know for sure, there is always a solution to every problem. We cannot continue to lose lives all because of headers wanting to graze cows or livestock. the human life should be more important than livestock. But unfortunately, the reverse is the case. Once there is any problem concerning that livestock, what we hear is reprisal, and human lives are given in exchange of whatever goes on the ground. You know, personally, for me, I do not know why this will continue all over the country without any solution, but it's unfortunate that we keep losing lives right in the middle of all of these troubles. Population explosion is also one of the reasons given, where you have migration from one locale to another. For the people moving from one to the next, there will definitely be an influx of people, and of course the population will continue to rise. But for me, I do not see why that should be a problem. For me, that should be a sign for development of some sort, not in the negative way, but in a positive. But unfortunately, if the data or the statistics that we have pull true, if there's any truth to this being one of the reasons or the root cause of us having to continue to have problems, killings in Benue State, then again there needs to be a check. There needs to be a check. The Benue State has a government. If this is a problem, then there needs to be a check to ensure that you know, we do not have people come into the state unaccounted for. You should have statistics of the people, foreigners coming into the state. I remember once wanting to take a trip to the United States, and I was actually finding information about the state in the United States that I was supposed to go, and I went on Google trying to find out all I could about the state. I was shocked to get the statistics of the number of people. The number of people in the state, yes. Google gave me the number of people in that state. Can you imagine if you and I ask for the statistics, if we go on Google right now, can we get the number of people in Benue State? Can we get, at the click of our fingers, the number of people in Benue State? The movement of people in terms of tourism, and of course through the borders. Can we get the statistics? Can we get the data if we go on Google, if we go on the research right now to find out the amount of cows, the headers that comes into Benue State on a daily basis? Well, your answer is as good as mine. All right, if you just joined us on the show, we have the topic right there on your screen. The phone lines are open. Please call in and be part of the conversation. Yes, today is going to be you and I, because my guests have bailed on me because it is raining elephants and lions right here in Abuja. So we've identified unfavorable environmental changes to population explosion as one of two of the root causes of the continuous headers killings in Benue State. Call in and let us know if you agree to the statistics gotten via research in Benue. Religious intolerance is another problem another cause identified for the killings in Benue. Religion, Karl Marx says religion is the opium of the masses. While religion that is supposed to be one that binds with religion, preaches love, preaches unity. I don't know why religion would be a problem that will lead to the loss of lives. But unfortunately, in our country, Nigeria, these are our reality. Religion has been weaponized. People use religion to their own benefit in the negative way and not the positive. And that is one of the reasons given why we have what we have in Benue, why lives are lost just like that, no value to life. It is totally unacceptable. Religion is supposed to bring peace wherever it is practiced. It's supposed to encourage people to live in harmony. It's supposed to bring joy and happiness and not killings. And there is a need for the government of Benue State in particular, and of course this present administration and those to come in future, to try as much as possible to ensure that we do not practice and live the way we've done in the past, because it is wrong for people to do the same thing the same way for a long time and expect a different results. If these are the factors, then we need to attend to them so that peace can return not just to Benue State, but in every areas where religion has been used as a weapon to cause mayhem. Please call in and be part of the conversation. Ethnic suspicion and political factors are also identified as some of the causes of the continuous killings in Benue State. Nigeria is blessed with a huge cache of ethnicity. This should be our strength, but not a weakness. But unfortunately, again, history has shown that this, instead of being a joy and a blessing, has been used against, we use this against ourselves. Ethnic suspicion is not just in Benue, but is a problem that cuts across all other parts of our lives. And if this is one of those, then we have a lot of work to do. Ethnic suspicion and political factors, we'll talk about the political reasons later. But unfortunately, this is our reality. Ethnic suspicion has been identified as one of the root cause of the continuous killings in Benue. Socioeconomic effect. So we want you to know that the lines are open for you to call in and be part of the conversation. We've just been told that our guests have come. I don't know how many. I'm expecting two friends to come today. We'll take a short break, and when we return, the conversation will continue. Stay with us.
Well, I know is in this house. I'm sure the sensei in the kitchen.
Sensei? What's that again?
That's Japanese for master, babe.
Master. In whose kitchen? My kitchen. My kitchen.
Babe. Oh, I know this tastes so good. That smell.
Yeah, right.
Junior, back me up here, son. Kids.
So you think you're master, Abby? Prove it.
With pleasure.
Sensei.
Told you.
Match with instant noodles. Always a delight.
So all I know is in this house.
In the beginning, God created a beautiful world.
3, 2, 1. Action.
And that's why, at KAFTAN Television,
we imagine a beautiful world.
We are not just bragging.
we blaze the trail in broadcasting. And it is about you.
At KAFTAN TV, broadcasting is not just about information, education, and entertainment.
It's an aggregation of all you need to know in Nigeria
and around the world to create signal.
At KAFTAN Television, we have all it takes to be on top in broadcasting.
Our mission is simple: to project Africa in a truthful yet positive manner.
Wait, we're coming to you in style.
Here we are, starting from September.
Look at what the facts are.
And as you say on KAFTAN TV, imagine a beautiful world.
Imagine a beautiful world. That's our slogan at KAFTAN TV. Hello there. I am Ruben Okala. Hello, I'm glad to have you join us again on the news of the hour, reaching you live from our studio in the nation's capital.
And that has been the news. Many thanks for watching. My name is Fatima Abbas Hassan. I'm the Cutting Baba today.
I am Kenyan Umaya.
The politics of Lagos State is still very much in the hands of the leaders.
My name is Dayo Omomo. I've not done a change of name.
Adebayo, you and Charter Arts Network.
We always dish out beautiful material.
Welcome back. It is still the press, and I'm glad to let you know that I have one of my guests in the studio with me today. He is going to be on the guest to becoming a friend, one that is not new to the show, one who has been faithful as a guest on the show since the creation of this program. He is my friend Habib Gajo, former presidential candidate and entrepreneur, is also a public affairs analyst. Habib, it's so nice to have you this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So what happened? The rain delayed you?
Honestly, it's so unfortunate that the rain was heavy this morning and the roads are
very, very good.
Jam-packed with,
yes, well, better late.
My apologies.
Better late than never. So it's so nice to have you on the press this morning. And of course, the topic that we're taking a look at this morning, the continuous headers killings in Benue and the allegation by Atiku, Amechi and El-Rufai of this present administration weaponizing poverty. Before you came, I'd started with Benue, so I think I've talked a little bit about Benue. I would want us to start with the weaponization of hunger. You know, that is, this administration has been alleged of using, you know, against the people. I want your take on that. But again, before we start, apart from the rains, like I love to do it, I also want to ask about Nigeria, state of the nation, your take this morning, not yesterday, this morning, before we go straight to our topic.
Well, let me start by sympathizing with the people of Benue State and Niger State and other part of the country that are facing all this tragic in Benue, killings everywhere, every day, and there is no solution. In Niger State, flooding, terrorism, kidnapping, and so on and so forth. Well, if you now take the two, all of them are disasters, and disasters need to be controlled, and disasters need to be stopped. Measures need to be taken. Let me give you some insight, like what is happening in Benue. Benue, the local government of that Akko local government has almost 12 wards, and all the 12 wards, the attackers, the gunmen, the hitmen, whatever they call them, push them out of their locality to the local government headquarters. And the local government headquarters is very close to the Benue, to Makodi.
To the headquarters?
Yes. During autumn, he was shouting, come and help, come and help. But this governor, alias, is also is a pastor or a reverend father who think differently. But honestly, the federal government need to intervene quickly and urgently, because you cannot be having people killing, taking life of other people. And I always been disturbed by 2 to 3 statements that people are making.
Which is?
One, they'll say, oh no, it's because of land grabbing. Grabbing whose land? You understand? Secondly, they'll say, no, it's politically motivated. Who is using politics to take life? These are issues that government need to focus, the security agencies need to focus. I listen to many people. No, it's all about land grabbing, it's all about it's politically motivated. Why will somebody play politics with the life of millions of people from Benue State? This is where the issue is. If we are really serious in this country, we have to do something urgently. This is 21st century.
In your opinion, what do you think are the causes? In your opinion, what do you think are the causes? Because while I was researching, also I actually found out that politics is one of it. That the situation in Benue has been politicized, and you're talking about land grabbing. Research also says that the traditional rulers should be transparent to their subjects, that somewhere along the line some of these lands have been sold to the headers, and the traditional rulers are not open to their subject, that there's been an exchange of money, that the root cause actually started with the exchange of money. Not my opinion, based on research. So if you say land grabbing is not part of it, land grabbing means taken by force. But research is saying that, it's just on the surface, that if you go underneath the dust, that it is possible that money has changed hands and traditional rulers are not open. Some transactions took place that were not, and the people were not carried along, and these people coming to take or grab are doing it based on exchange of money. So the reasons are so huge, but I would really want your take right now.
Yeah, you see, land belongs to community, and the community are the human beings. Those traditional rulers, they rule over their subjects to protect, you understand, to govern, to maintain law and order. You understand? So if they sold lands to the headers, you understand, then they should come out publicly. You understand? Why will somebody sell his land and will now come and say my land is being grabbed? How? You understand? These are the things that I'm saying, that the governors are not sincere in fighting this crime or in settling this crisis. All what they say, oh, it's land grabbing, these people use guns to grab our land, it's politically motivated because these people are so party, these people are so party. No, let us stop that. You understand? Let's go through the root cause of it. All of us Nigerians, we all know the root cause of it. In Benue, it's still the same thing. They will give their land to the miners, they will cancel the license of the miners, and the miners will deploy armed gunmen.
Drastic measures.
Yes, you understand. But they will never come out and tell the people the truth. These are what is happening. You understand? So we have to start electing people who are in domicile in their own community. You understand?
Who know the nook and cranny, who are conversant with the root problems of the people.
You
not someone from afar.
Not somebody who come from abroad, or somebody who stays in Abuja or in Lagos and America, London, and some will come and see because he's when he has money, he come from outside, that let's elect him. You understand? Something has to be done immediately, because we are not, Nigerians are not smiling.
Hello.
This Benue state you are seeing is the food basket of Nigeria.
Yes.
Almost 30 to 40% of food we consume come from that axis.
We have a call.
Benue and Plateau.
Yeah, we have a call. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name, please, and where are you calling from?
From Abuja.
Okay, please go ahead. What's your contribution to our discussion this morning?
Yes. Good morning, Nigeria.
Good morning.
I want to remind the current government that PDP spent 16 years, and they call it a mislead or misrule of 16 years. I want to quickly remind Tinubu that he's getting close to that same period, because right now is 3 years in adding the 8 years of Buhari is 10 years. So there is a track that he is going to contest for second tenure, which is going to make it 16 years. Now, he consciously, can he tell Nigerians that he's on the right track, that he's correcting the error he claimed PDP committed? Can he genuinely, with the whole of his heart, say he has done well and that APC is better than PDP?
Okay, so that's our first caller asking the questions this morning, and of course his reaction is based on our discourse. I'm sure he's talking about the weaponization of hunger, and yes, you cannot separate what is happening in Benue without calling out to government to be proactive about it. So that is a mistake.
Now you see, if you take those assailants who are taking people's life in their own community, and you look the other side, security forces are also killing innocent people in their farms. What the bandit and the gunmen are doing is the same thing that the security agencies, security forces are doing, and the only excuse is a mistake. We will investigate, and that investigation never come out. The person that called, you understand? Yeah, he is right. People are giving scorecard, midterm, endorsement.
Yeah, good morning. Just hold on. Yeah, go on.
Endorsement of hunger or endorsement of suffering of Nigerian. You understand? Or endorsement of insecurity, or endorsement of taking life of ordinary Nigerians. Even in the hospitals, where you will get
life. Yes. Let's take this call. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, thanks for your patience. What's your name, please, and where you're calling from?
I'm calling from Benue State College.
Oh, Collins, thanks. How are you, Collins? How's Benue State this morning from your end?
We are just grief.
I understand.
We are in mourning now.
I understand.
We are in mourning now.
I understand.
You look at it, by Sunday, on Saturday evening, they cleared almost how many people in Itiku, in Apa local government. And on Sunday evening, they took hit in Naka here. Even one of our relations now, they have been calling, the number is going, there is no picking. I want to ask the federal government, is there anything that we, the Benue States, have actually done to the Fulanis? You see, like I said the last time, the former Fulani that are here with our parents that are late today, they are not as rough and wicked as this. They never graze on our farmlands that is at use, neither do they pass through our crops to destroy them. Now, I don't know actually if our immigrations and our customs are really working, more especially from the boundary areas. Can this population of a thing go around both in the bushes and let them know the actual population we are having in Nigeria? Each time they pronounce population commission to take over and do this counting of a thing, it comes and go like that. Most of the people in our communities, in our towns, in our local government, many of them, they are not Nigerians. I can't see a Fulani that is born in Nigeria and brought up the athlete, destroy human being after killing, cut off his leg and his head, cut his neck from the back as if he's cutting an animal. We are pleading with the federal government. Hence, they didn't have the power to take over all these things. Let them withdraw their military. And allow our people to take care of themselves.
Okay, Collins, that's how much we can take from your call. But one thing I know is we do not pray that this continues in Benue. But going forward, we'll probably have a situation where we'll call you so you can give us information from your end in Benue State. So you heard, okay, we have another call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
What's your name, please, and where you're calling from?
My name is Ryan from Abuja.
Okay, you called earlier, Rahim.
Yes.
Okay, you have...
I was to say that Tinubu doesn't seem to be correcting the error Buhari made, in my own opinion. We have had head of state, we have had presidents over time before these two people. But to know that there are things you don't do. Buhari came, his children started using the government properties like the flight, what do you call it, the plane that the president is supposed to be using. The children started using it to be taking pictures up and down, and everybody shouted, this was wrong, this was wrong. What happened? Tinubu came and improved on it. See, I don't know, we have this culture of improving on the negative side. You take people that have that God gave resources, you take their resources and give to another. You give people that have been struggling to survive on their own, even without the effort of government. You just do everything you can do to deprive them of life. And people will sit down and tell us, don't complain.
Okay, that's how much we can take on that call. So please, you've heard the two callers, one from Benue and of course Rahim that has called twice. Well, this is a program where you come to air your views, and those two callers have done that. But let us get back to our discourse. I don't know if you want to have something to say on what you've said, or you want to continue.
Yeah, what I will add with what Colin said, definitely it's not the Fulanis that we are in Nigeria.
That these are foreigners
that are causing all this
mayhem.
And those headsmen, they will go and connive with the traditional rulers, you understand, the community leaders, and even vigilante, you understand. They connive with them and start all these atrocities and taking people's life and so on and so forth. You understand? They don't stay. They don't stay. They move. You understand? If they are buying your land for when you harvest, they will stay like 2 to 3 months, 5 months, and go. You understand?
But Habib, there's this question I want to ask, because like from what Collins has said, he did say that these headers that the Fulanis that they grew up with, the Fulanis who they had as neighbors, their father's time, did not trample on crops. They did not overrun farms that have been cultivated, and these are the feedbacks that we get. They bring in their cattle, they eat cassava, they totally destroy farmlands that millions, hundreds of millions have been invested in, and there is no way you do that to me that I will not react. And when there's a reaction, the next thing they get is lives are being lost.
Thank you very much. You see, there is no crime would take place without an insider. The Fulani people that he's talking about, for ages, for 100 years, you understand, or over 2 to 3, 500 years that they live with thieves together and became brothers, married each other. You understand? They
they even joke with themselves. You understand? Like when the Fulani man went to Benue with his cow, and the thief man went to eat meat, and the Fulani man gave him his stick and say, hold it, I'm coming back. You understand? And the thief man will say, no, as long as the stick is here, he must return. You understand? And when the Fulani man return, he will say, Munchi, that you have eaten our cow. You understand? That's how they blend, they mingle together. You understand? So now what we are saying is a different
scenario, because the same thing cuts across all parts of Nigeria.
Yes. So
they destroy farm crops. So it's the same story, it's the same story that we get.
So what the government, the state government and the local government are doing, they're not helping the matter. And also the security agencies, I don't know whether they are handicapped or...
Just hold on. Yes. Okay. Please, Habib, let me take this call. Yes, Chief, can you go on? Where are you calling from? Ariel, where are you calling from?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Where are you calling from, please?
Yeah, my name is Chief Ariel.
Okay.
From Kaduna.
Okay, please go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, about 53 killed in Benue boys again. You see, they said the problem that is not solved in the morning become trouble in the evening. That is exactly what is happening in our country, Nigeria, with particular reference to Benue. You know, in my own opinion, and it's a record, it's not even opinion. The role Buhari played in Benue, it was terrible. Buhari started bringing up policy to favor the Fulanis, Ruga, water bill, grazing route, and also and so forth. You see, the problem of Benue is that because they have got a fertile land in Benue, and that is why Buhari did not tell them the truth. Buhari kept on telling Nigerians one story or the other. There was a time Buhari said he sent the IG to Benue to go and curb all these disturbances in Benue. And the IG did not go. I ask your guest, what did Buhari do? When you send some people are killing people in Benue, and you deliberately sent IG, and he did not go, a sitting president, and he did not do, and he still maintained that IG. And it's very, very funny. You see, the problem in Benue is that he's talking about the Fulani. We have the Fulani coming from Mali, Mauritania, and whatever it is. And they are joining the Fulanis inside Nigeria, collaborating with them. You see, enough is enough for this killing. You see, the governor is also downplaying it. When Otom was the governor of Benue, it was terrible with Buhari. They were in hand blows about this problem in Benue. But the present governor, I don't know whether he wants to run for second time. That is what he is not talking. I should think enough is enough for this killing in Benue. We can fold our arms for them to see that killing Nigerians. If they are not Fulani, they are Fulani from other places, joining the Fulani in Nigeria to kill Nigerians. Then let me quickly go to Wike. You see, Wike doesn't fear God. Wike should let Wike. From the time he was the chairman of PDP, to the time he was made junior minister, to the time he was governor, Wike has never fought in any place since he left the university. People who made him like Peter Obi and co. Today he's insulting them. And that is why I want to give Wike one prayer point. The prayer point is that, Lord, circumcise my mouth, that anything that will come out from my mouth shall glorify your name.
Okay, so yeah, that is interesting. So you heard the caller from Kaduna.
Well, it's all what we are talking about.
Yes,
you understand, whether there is collaboration or non-collaboration, but the community has the responsibility. The governor, the chairman, local government has the responsibility to protect
now
life and property.
We don't have time. Weaponization of poverty. We didn't even touch it at all. As we round up, we have barely 5 minutes to go. I just want you to let us understand: is it true that the present administration is weaponizing poverty, according to Atiku?
Yeah, that's true. They are weaponizing poverty. You understand? Since during President Muhammadu Buhari from 2016, you know, when a government was elected and start thinking,
go on, please.
Thinking of second term, definitely this is what is going to happen. They have to put people in the object poverty so that when they came to for campaign and election, they will be giving people spaghetti, indomie, soup, and warapa tomorrow. During election, they will give your wife spaghetti and something. They will give your son or your husband 5,000 naira. They will give your son 2,000 naira to destroy or to protect their vote or to destroy people's vote. You understand?
So because of time, what advice do you have for this present administration based on this allegation from Atiku? What should be the way forward? Because we're all in the country.
Yes,
and
you see, it's good to have opposition. Opposition play a role to tell the government what the ordinary man is going through, because the ordinary man may not have voice, but the opposition will have voice, and that voice, that what give Atiku, Amechi, and El-Rufai and others, Peter Obi, to blow it out so that the whole world will know. You understand? Because is it a World Bank or UNICEF data has 2 million children malnourished in Nigeria. You understand? When you compare it with Buhari, it's almost 133 by NBS. You understand? Multinational dimensional poverty. You understand? Now Tinubu has added his own. So going forward is like they are creating more poverty, more hunger, more insecurity, lack of education, lack of health care, food inflation. You understand? Every day on daily basis, and people will come out and start praising Tinubu for second term, endorsement, fake scorecards. I don't know where they got their data from. They are saying inflation has dropped, things are going down, is stabilizing. But when you go to the market, if you today in urban cities, to eat, it will cost you 5,000 to 6,000 naira. In rural areas, it will take you 2,000 to 3,000 naira. As an ordinary man, you understand? We have this malnutrition is not anything. Is very clear. It's just like in a house land, you eat tuwo with miyan kuka. It's only the kuka they will put with water and maybe salt, and give their children to eat. When you go to protein. Yes, when you go to the southwest, maybe it's only ewedu. They will do okra and put salt without anything, without tomato, without pepper, without meat, without anything, and they give him with amala or gari. Definitely he will be malnourished. So these are the situation. We have to say the truth. You understand? We have to start talking from taking our situation from the rural areas, from the grassroots. And I like what Atiku Peter Obi, Amechi, and El Rufai, and others. You understand? All of us. We have to make our voice. You understand? Our voices must be heard so that things will be is government fear opposition. You understand? So if opposition is silent, that is why they are fighting all parties. Now, using Wike to distract Nigerians from what really on ground.
So you think that is a distraction?
It's a distraction. You understand?
Okay.
And media
is playing to the gallery.
Yes.
Okay.
You understand?
we're out of time.
So
we're out of time.
Media will take Wike's story for 1 week, 2 months, distracting people. You understand? It's just like callers will call and say Wike say that Wike is not a Nigerian problem. A Nigerian problem is the system of government.
Okay, thank you, Habib. Thank you. I wish we could go on and on, but unfortunately we are definitely out of time. I want to appreciate my guest, Habib Gajo, former presidential candidate, entrepreneur, and of course, social affairs analyst, for being on the show this morning. I appreciate you, Habib. Hope to see you more on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Well, that's how we call it a day on the press. Remember, keep a date with us tomorrow up till Friday, right here on the press. I am Anire Binitie. Stay positive. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.